Hey guys, welcome back to Deadman 1010 and welcome back to another React video. And on the last episode what were we doing? Yes. We were damn it, I can't get my words out. We were doing predictions for Money in the Bank 2020. And now that that's been and gone, there is a whole lot of stuff to talk about, and I have been waiting for nearly a week to talk to you guys about this. And here we go. So we're going to be watching the YouTuber Wrestling Gifts, and it's basically to do with Money in the Bank and what made it so special. And we'll be also watching Planet Productions video on why WWE is so great right now. So here we go. Hell, why does there have to be an advert? Here we go. There he is, Wrestling Gifts.
Alright, let's do this. It was January 2008. It had been 3 months since my favorite wrestler of all time, John Cena, had been injured, and I was still obsessed with the WWE. I loved Jeff Hardy, I loved Batista and Rey Mysterio, The Undertaker. I obviously hated Edge, and I would still watch.
Who didn't around that time? Edge was the biggest piece of you-know-what on this planet around that time that Cena got injured. And then, obviously, Taker, Jeff, and Batista. Who couldn't have loved them? Because, I mean, like, they were cool. They had their own unique personas, and one of them was rising pretty well in the rankings, and that would be, of course, Batista. Because, obviously, he was making his name. And then, obviously, Undertaker, he was getting ready to be in his prime, and then Jeff Hardy, he was doing moves and whatnot and winning championships. And then Edge, like I said, was being the biggest piece of you-know-what on the whole entire main roster at that time, being the heel that he was. So, yeah, that's how it was back then, as well as Cena being injured.
Watch every show every week, but there was something missing. As fun as it was to see my favorites, at the end of the day, the favorite was not there, and I had no idea when he was coming back. I remember sitting there in January of 2008 watching the Royal Rumble, and after an amazing night, it was time for the last entrant, and I was excited, but it wasn't that serious, because really.
Hey, King. Yeah, you just jumped onto one of my my videos. If you want to see what I'm reacting to you can actually see it. King. Yeah, never mind. He'll come back, guys.
Realistically, who could have possibly been? I already knew that the big stars came and went. Batista and Triple H were in the ring. I had no expectations, but there was some tiny little hope in my 9-year-old heart. And I was just like, please be Cena. And then it happened.
As in, you can't see it? That's hard to believe, because on my side you can. Whatever. Whatever. I'll tell you what I'm reacting to. I'm reacting to Wrestling Gifts video of what made Money in the Bank 2021 so special. And I'm actually doing a video on it, so you just jumped into my video, if you're okay with that. It's fine, you can give your thoughts if your heart desires that. Maybe we could have a discussion which therefore would make the video a little longer. No, I'm not from the US, so I don't have to use Peacock. I just use I'm using YouTube right now to react to this video from my PlayStation 4. So there you go. But yeah, if you want to, you can mute your mic and then maybe we can talk about it after I've reacted to the two videos if you want. That's cool.
John Cena came out to one of the loudest reactions ever. The arena
Yes,
was shaking.
he did.
I was jumping for joy. I was so happy. I didn't even know what to say. It was just pandemonium. It was one of the greatest.
He was never expected to return as fast as he did, and when he did, he got one of the loudest pops of all time. The only thing that has actually topped that, or kind of topped that, was the return that he made this past Sunday, and you will find out that return in just a few moments from now.
Moments of my life, to be honest, and wrestling peaked
And it
for
does
me.
involve
I don't know
John
what to say.
Cena.
Cena was amped, I was amped, and it was my GOAT. It was and is my favorite wrestling moment ever. And ever since then, ever since January of 2008 when I was 9 years old, I've been chasing that wrestling high. Since then, there have been so many epic matches, moments involving Cena, involving other wrestlers,
guys.
but there was just something about that
drinking
cold
my
night
orange.
in January that had never been replicated. Wrestling never gave me the happiness, that joy, that excitement that I got on that night. Fast forward to July of 2021. I'm 22 years old. I have a wrestling channel on YouTube where I have 100,000 subscribers. Life is so different. Life is good. Life is amazing. And here I was watching Money in the Bank 2021. Roman Reigns was standing in the ring after a 33-minute match with Edge. He stood in the ring.
By the way, guys, that match was great. Edge versus Roman. It was definitely worth the wait. You know, despite Edge being retired for those 9.5 years, to come back and be as great as he is, to be in the shape that he's in, to be able to face Roman, Tribal Chief Roman, like, it was worth the wait, and it was a great match overall. And naturally, as you heard from Wrestling Gifts, Roman came out on top. But he didn't do it alone because naturally Seth Rollins intervened in the match not once but twice. But that sets up Edge versus Seth, well, hopefully, for SummerSlam this year. So, yeah, that should be a very, very good match as well.
As the Tribal Chief, the new top star of the WWE, the face of the company. I was sitting there, I was watching, and I had that feeling. I knew that there were rumors that John Cena was going to come back for SummerSlam. I knew them, but I didn't know when he was going to come back. In my head, it was probably going to be a random episode of SmackDown, but as the show was about to end, I had that same tiny bit of hope again. Please, Cena. Roman is standing in the ring. He told the fans to acknowledge him, and there was a brief pause, and my heart just started racing faster and faster, and then it happened.
That pop is it. Like, that is the only thing that is more insane than his Royal Rumble 2008 return in terms of pops that Cena's had in his career. The only thing that tops it. Like, the only thing. And, yeah, that was the moment where my wrestling fandom peaked, and it is still at that point nearly a week later because of how great WWE has been lately.
Wrestling once again made me feel like I was 9 years old. It felt like it was 2008 all over again, like I was watching the '08 Rumble. Cena was amped, I was amped, my GOAT, my fave, my hero, John Cena. was back. And wrestling made me feel some ways that I had not felt in over 10 years, when with the biggest smile on my face, I was legit speechless. My phone was blowing up, FaceTime calls, Snapchats, Twitter, Instagram, at the same time trying to tell my girlfriend what just happened. As Cena's music played and the crowd was just going absolutely nuts and I was just sitting there with my jaw on the floor, I finally, I got that feeling that I had been chasing since January of 2008. Somehow, some way, the WWE, somehow John Cena had me, a grown-ass 22-year-old man, just jumping for joy. And it's a moment that I'm never going to forget. It's moments like
I'm not surprised, to be honest, because like I said, that return was freaking incredible. Like, incredible. And, like... And they're most likely going to build to Cena versus Roman, despite the whole Finn Balor situation, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But, yeah, they're most likely going to build to Roman v Cena at SummerSlam, and it's going to be incredible. Incredible. And the stuff that they will be saying on the mic, with Cena's creative control being sky high, with Roman's being more or less the same nowadays as the Tribal Chief, like, it is going to be amazing. Trust me. Trust me.
this, where you're just happy you're a wrestling fan, because there is no other form of media or entertainment that can bring you joy like this. Only wrestling fans can understand, man. Like, the way wrestling can make a wrestling fan feel is unmatched. No TV show.
It's insane. Like, the way that a wrestling fan can feel whenever stuff like this happens is monumental. Like, there is no other feeling in the world.
No sporting event, no movie can replicate it. I love wrestling. And now at SummerSlam, we are going to get a match for the ages. The two top dogs, the face of my generation, is back to take on the face of the current generation, and it's going to be amazing. And this is it. I am just so happy. I'm ecstatic. This is going to be the best thing ever, because this is it. This is like the conclusion to my childhood. This is the grand finale. This is John Cena, the man who made me love wrestling. The man who, like, honestly, if it wasn't for Cena, I would never have fallen in love with wrestling the way I did. He's getting old now. He's on his way out. He's going to retire. He's gonna go be a movie star. But this is it. It's the last hurrah. Old man John Cena is going to do his thing, and for me, it just hits differently, because I don't know how many more.
I'm not surprised, because I mean, like, Cena's like in his 40s now. Although he looks insanely great, like, you could see his bald patch. So, you know, he is getting old now. He is cracking on a bit. And I mean, like, he's got a load of busy things in Hollywood these days. Like the new Suicide Squad movie that's going to be coming out later next month. As in at the start of next month. So, he's got a lot going on. And, yeah, you never know. This might be the big last hurrah for him, give or take.
More matches Cena has left in him. I don't know how many more big matches are left, and honestly, he's versing Roman Reigns. It's hard to get a bigger match for John Cena, so this is it. This is the finale. This is the end. This is the conclusion. I don't know. I don't even know how to properly describe this with no words. It's just special. It's honestly just special. John Cena is back. He's taking on Roman Reigns. And I feel like I'm 9 years old once again. And this might be the last true wrestling moment that will ever make me feel this happy, because I'm getting older and I don't have a connection to the newer wrestlers. I'm never going to have the same connection with the newer wrestlers that I have.
That is so true. Hey, GTX. Oh, man. I was just doing a reaction video, and I figured I would share it with all you lot. So, yeah, I'm basically watching a video on wrestling gifts and what made Money in the Bank so special. And yeah, I'm just doing a reaction to it now. So you actually jumped onto a video that I was doing, and you're fine to hang around and say your thoughts and etc. 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 So you're not in You're not intruding or anything. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, guys, that was GTX. But yeah, Wrestling Gifts does have a point because I mean, like, he's never gonna feel the same connection that younger fans now feel to like people like Roman, people like Big E, like stuff like that. It's always gonna be in his generation, being the ruthless aggression era, and obviously Cena was Wrestling Gifts Go at that time and still is. So he does make some pretty normal points, if I were to be completely honest with y'all.
With John Cena. So this is it. This is like the last hurrah, not just for John Cena, but honestly for my wrestling fandom. Because I'll love wrestling going forward. I'll love it. But this is it. But yo, that's not all that happened this night. There was another 2 hours and 57 minutes of a WWE pay-per-view that went down, and honestly, we gotta talk about it. I don't make videos often on current day WWE, but yo, Money in the Bank 21 was just fun. Just like WrestleMania,
yes,
it didn't feel real to see real people in the crowd, real reactions, not some...
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to see the crowd back, and they were vocal, they were great, they did stuff. It was awesome.
Scary TV screens. It didn't feel real, and it truly makes you appreciate how much wrestling fans mean to wrestling. And the show was awesome. The 3 hours just flew by. And yeah, were there some boring parts and some shaky parts? Definitely. But I miss this. I miss this so much, and I'm just excited for the WWE going forward. But before we talk about that, can we please just talk about how the WWE hates Kofi Kingston? Oh wait, we already knew that. Kofi Kingston died tonight.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston was legit murdered in a
He did pretty much get murdered in that match. Like, Bobby was not playing around. He straight up just decked Kofi in record time. Like, he did it like it was nothing.
WWE ring, and I haven't seen Kofi Kingston destroy like that since his last WWE Championship match.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston was just brutalized, and it was not pretty. And I'm just surprised that nobody called the police because the crowd was traumatized. And Bobby Lashley, respect to you, sir. You do you. I just want to know, who did Kofi Kingston piss off backstage? Who is it? Because somebody clearly hates Kofi. But this was just a squash match in every way, and Bobby Lashley is on an insane...
Like... Bobby is on a level that he has never been in his whole entire career, and it's great to see, in all honesty, and that match with Kofi proved it in every sense of the word.
Run, and you love to see it. But you know what I don't love to see? Goldberg wrestling in 2021. Why? Why? I have seen the rumors, I have seen the news, and no.
I don't know why this is happening. Goldberg versus Bobby. I would have much rather had Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE World title, not Goldberg versus Lashley. But it could honestly be interesting, and I mean, like, he did get a hell of a pop on Monday Night Raw, so I mean, it could be good, but no doubt in my mind, I can speak for everybody who's a wrestling fan, and I can pretty much speak for pretty much everybody in that column that we all wanted Lesnar versus Bobby at SummerSlam.
No, we can't do this. Just stay home, Goldberg. I don't care how much the WWE is paying you. At this point, us fans should start a GoFundMe to pay for Goldberg's salary so he doesn't have to wrestle. I don't know what the next steps are for Lashley, but he definitely needs to file a restraining order against Goldberg. Bring back Brock Lesnar, or do something fresh, do something exciting. Just please, no, God, no Goldberg. On this night, Charlotte and Rhea was just a fire match, and honestly, I'm not even a fan.
Honestly, I was not excited for this match, but as soon as the match actually kicked in, it was actually alright. It was actually a fairly solid match. But at the start, people were not wanting it. They literally wanted to chant for Becky all of that match. And what made it even funnier is the fact that Charlotte Flair actually flipped them off. Believe it or not. So, yeah, she took PG and ate it like it was nothing and decided to flip the crowd off. Because, that's normal. So, yeah. But point is, they were chanting Becky like nearly the whole match, but finally things did pick up and it was actually an alright
Fan of
match.
either of them, but this match was elite. The fans at the beginning were so out of it. They were chanting for Becky and
Yeah,
they did not like Charlotte. It got pretty bad that Charlotte even flipped them off. But by the end,
yeah,
the same idiots that were booing her and chanting for Becky were bowing down to Charlotte. I did not see
believe it or
Charlotte
not.
winning coming, but after her tweaking in this match the way she did, I can't even be mad. She put on a special performance. Her and Rhea had the crowd in the palm of their hands and
That is true. They did have a good match in the end. And I I think Charlotte's now like an 11-time women's champion or 12-time or something women's champion, so that's quite insane. But she hasn't got the belt anymore. Now Nikki Ash, aka Almost Superior Nikki, has got it.
they had an amazing match.
Thanks
Even
to
my
cashing in
dumbass was falling
her
for
women's
pinfalls
Money in the
after
Bank ladder
regular moves
match, which
because
we'll
even
see
just
in a
the
minute.
DDTs that Charlotte were doing, they looked deadly. They looked like they
Yep.
killed Rhea. And Charlotte won. It is what it is. That's the thing. At first, I was kind of annoyed. I was kind of triggered. I'm like, wow, Charlotte, 14-time champion that fast. It is unnecessary, I know. But yo, it's hard to hate on her after a match like this. She is clearly one of the best. But now
True. She may not have the charisma on the mic and everything like that, but she definitely has the wrestling ability. Without a doubt.
the question is, so Becky is gonna return soon, but does she return to beef Charlotte or does Becky go to SmackDown and beef Bianca? And honestly, I don't know which one I prefer, but it's definitely going to be fun. The men's Money in the Bank was insane. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm overreacting, but am I tripping when I say that this might be one of the best Money in the Bank matches ever?
It's definitely up there, without a doubt. Like those men put on a clinic, and there was some interesting spots in the match. I'm not gonna lie. There was Drew McIntyre flying. There was Kevin Owens legit getting killed through a ladder by Seth Rollins. There was Riddle engaging his inner Viper with an RKO to Ricochet, as you can see right there. There was a lot of things that happened. There was the Seth and John Morrison drip team up, which was quite funny because one of them's the drip god, and then one of them's the drip lord or something. So yeah, very very funny.
So many insane spots, so much craziness. Ricochet just doing shit with his body that shouldn't be possible. Kevin Owens has a broken back. Please, Kevin, just take a year off. Just take some
Yeah.
time off. And Big E is the man. And seeing Big E climb the ladder and it's sinking in like, yo, he might actually win. The crowd was on their feet. It was perfect. The right guy won.
Yeah, that was a good choice. Although I wanted Ricochet to win, I'm glad Big E won because he does deserve it. And it did seem like WWE did want to push him.
It was so much fun, and now it all makes sense. He has to cash in against Lashley. He has to get revenge for his New Day boys and just book it, okay? No Goldberg. Fuck Goldberg, leave him at home. Vince, you have Big E, you have Lashley, just let them go at it. Please, I'm begging you, bro, just no Goldberg. The main event was what we expected. It's still surreal to me that the man I hated so much as a kid, now when I'm older, whenever I see him, I can't help but smile. As much as I
That is funny and ironic. The fact that the guy that he hated so bad as a kid, he now loves so much as an adult. The irony is just uncanny. Oh my god. But yeah, like I said, the Edge versus Roman match was brilliant. Like, it was worth waiting those 9 to 10 years for this match. Like, it was worth waiting.
joke around about hating Edge, I respect
Sure.
him. I respect him a lot. And now
As do I. Like, he definitely deserves to be a Hall of Famer, and he's awesome. He is so awesome.
Whenever I hear "you think you know me," I get all the chills. Roman Reigns versus Edge was a great match. It was kind of slow in the beginning, but once it picked up, it was a great match. It set up Rollins versus
Yeah, it was a little slow, but I did realize like they've got to tell the story, so in the end it does make sense. But when the match picked up, when the ref was down and all hell broke loose, that was when things actually got real interesting and was a lot of fun. And to be fair, I think this match really needed a stipulation like no holds barred or something, because I think that would have really done this match justice, to be fair, because then there would have been a lot more hardcore and crazy stuff happening like there were at WrestleMania. So I do think that those guys would have benefited from a stipulation like that, no holds barred. But it was still a great match.
Versus Edge, Cena versus Roman, Mysterios versus Usos
in
too.
my
But
mind.
for the first time in a long time, I'm honestly just excited for the WWE. The fans are back. There's this freshness, this excitement. There's so many possibilities, and I'm just excited. I don't know how long this will last. I don't even know if it's worth being excited for. But regardless, tonight when this show ended, I just felt good, and it was a great show. And the WWE really has a chance to go off now. If you think about it, they have the perfect chance to bounce back from the pandemic and just make the second half of 2021 elite. It's giving me second half of 2016 vibes. Cena is back, Roman is goated, Big E is Mr. Money in the Bank, Finn is back on the main roster, Lashley's in the zone, Becky's coming back, Rollins versus Edge, Bianca Belair is a star, Charlotte is Charlotte. They can really create some magic going forward.
Yeah, they have got some amazing talent right now, and they are doing some fine stuff with them.
Please capitalize on this.
Mostly.
Right? Just do it. I want to be invested again. But honestly, after Money in the Bank 2021, shit, I am invested. It's your boy Pav.
How can you not be?
Gifts. Thank you for watching. This was a short video, a quick video. And on a scale of 1 to Pav, how happy are you that John Cena came back? Thank you guys for your support. I just wanted to make this quick video. It's 3 in the morning while I'm recording this. Just wanted to get my thoughts out there. So sorry if it's not the best video. But I'll see you guys later. More content coming soon. It's your boy Pav, aka Wrestling Gifts. And I'm out. Later.
Now, guys, we're gonna watch Planner Productions video in a few moments before I find it. It's in the P's. I know that much. I should be able to find it. I hope so. Anyway, I'll be a little bit worried if I couldn't. Oh boy, this is annoying. Ah, here we go. Planet Productions, there you go. Do you wanna be a bad man? Oh, it is fine, not GTX, King. Apparently he did.
4 days ago, the WWE crowds made their long-awaited return to Friday Night SmackDown, and I can confidently say that WWE has been on absolute fire since then.
Yes,
on that
it
episode
has.
of SmackDown, the show was very enjoyable with an entertaining tag team match between the Bloodline and Edge and the Mysterios
that was a
to
good
open
match.
up the show. Then you had Sami Zayn come out to the ring to complain about the conspiracy theory against him before Finn Balor made his return to the main roster.
That was good.
Bianca
that was very
Belair
good.
defended her title against Carmella in a really solid title match.
Yeah, they can put on a good performance, Bianca and Carmella can. They definitely have the wrestling ability, and they can definitely create some good stuff.
We have to admit it, Carmella has gotten
Yeah.
significantly better since her debut in 2016. And the main event of the show was an amazing fatal four-way match between Kevin Owens, King Nakamura, Seth Rollins, and Big E. It was all
a good
very
match.
good stuff from the beginning of the show.
That was a very good match. I think it definitely created a good taster for Money in the Bank, in my opinion. because to be fair, that's all it needed to be.
Show all the way to the end, and the live audience also helped tremendously, giving some life back to the show that it desperately needed. After that, WWE carried over that momentum all the way to Money in the Bank, which was easily the best pay-per-view of 2021. The show was nearly a perfect wrestling pay-per-view event. The kickoff match saw the Usos deliver a fantastic...
Yeah, I still need to watch that. I do know the result, as you can see. Usos won the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I've heard that the match is amazing, so I do really need to get on that. So, I will watch that at some stage. I will.
Match against the Mysterios, and they ultimately became the new tag team champions. So now the Bloodline...
To be fair, I don't agree that Jimmy is holding a title. Like, I don't think he deserves it after the DUI that he got recently. But obviously they wanted to complete the Bloodline with gold, so I guess I can live with that. Because, I mean, like, at least they're forming the tag team or the faction, and, you know, they're putting gold on them, and they're making that faction dominant, which is great, because that's what needs to happen. Because with a name like the Bloodline, you would assume that they would be dominant, and thankfully they do seem that way.
All the gold around their waist. The show opened up to a pretty solid women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Nikki ASH...
Yeah, that was an alright ladder match. Like, it wasn't, like, amazing, but it was alright. But in terms of, like, the winner, like, I'm glad that Nikki won and got the Raw Women's title from Charlotte. Like, on, like, the following night on Raw. Like, I'm glad that all that happened. But honestly, man, till the day I die, I will always say, whenever somebody comes up to me and says, what did you think about the women's Money in the Bank ladder match of 2021? I will always say that Liv Morgan should have won the briefcase because she was so over. And I mean, it would have been amazing if she had pulled it off. Obviously, if she gets given it like next year or gets given a championship next year, then I won't really be so fussy on that. But if she doesn't, damn, man, I'm definitely going to be saying that, dude. No doubt about it.
Winning was truly shocking. It was a moment that you did not expect. Then Bobby Lashley squashed Kofi Kingston, which was perfect for the storyline. It made a ton of sense. A lot of people hated.
Yeah, because Kofi said that Bobby was getting soft, and obviously Bobby sure as hell wasn't soft on Kofi during that match. Like Wrestling Gives said, and what I agreed with, he was pretty much getting murdered in that match.
That he lost to Xavier Woods, but if you look at it, that is what it took for Bobby Lashley, this monster Bobby Lashley, to be unleashed. He is done playing all these games with MVP, with all those women. No more games. It is all about business, and he proved that at Money in the Bank. Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley was really damn good as well. They went from the crowd chanting that they wanted Becky Lynch, with Charlotte actually sticking her middle finger to the crowd chanting, funny. This is awesome. That is just crazy how they turned the entire dynamic of the match around.
Was good.
And Charlotte also won, which was probably for the better. Rhea Ripley was an alright champion, but I think this was an unexpected title change, and this is the unpredictability that we need in WWE. Outside of
True. That is true, because, I mean, like, they always say you never know what's going to happen in the WWE. If it's going to be predictable, then you are going to know what's going to happen, so you need some of that unpredictability in there. So then what they say makes sense, logically.
The Peacock glitch, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, was also really fun to watch. They had all their moments to shine, and Ricochet honestly looked great in the ring for the first time in a really long time. Everyone else did good as well. I also love the fact that Big E captured the Money in the Bank briefcase. That was obviously the perfect choice. I'm so glad that he actually did it. I'm so glad that WWE pulled the trigger, to be honest. You don't understand how happy I am that Big E is finally going to become a future WWE or Universal Champion, most likely WWE.
Yeah, I'm glad that Big E did get the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I hope that obviously he does become a world heavyweight or universal champion in the future. Like, I hope that they won't do a Baron Corbin and have him lose his Money in the Bank briefcase, opportunity, cash in his match, or an Otis where they just casually strip him away from the title or from the contract. Yeah, that was a really, really dumb move by WWE in my opinion.
Because I don't see him beating Roman Reigns. But anyways, that's besides the point. He's a future.
But I guess they didn't really know what to do with him, so maybe it was for the best, but personally, I don't like the fact that they did it.
And
I don't think it was a good idea, but I hope that Big E doesn't get any of that same treatment and he actually becomes a star and wins either the World Heavyweight or Universal title.
The main event of the show featured Roman Reigns defending his championship against Edge in a singles match, and all I gotta say is what a match that these two put on. It was obviously my favorite match of 2021, if we're being honest with you.
Oops, that wasn't meant to happen.
Against Edge in a singles match.
My bad.
And all I gotta say is what a match that these two put on. It was obviously my favorite match of 2021, if we're being honest with you. They just absolutely killed it in the ring. They two told a really great story in the ring without any suicide dives or flips or jumps or choreographed moves of that nature. It was...
Yeah, I do think that the reason why the match was slow was because they were doing all that storytelling, which I am fine with, because I understand why they would have done that and etc. So it is fine. And I mean, the match did kick up and become an amazing match, so you can't really fault WWE either way.
It was a true good old-fashioned wrestling slugfest. That is how it should be. Roman Reigns and Edge over-delivered. That's what I'm trying to say. But ultimately, that is what the greats do. They over-deliver and give the fans more than what they...
Edge is a great one, and Roman has been a great one throughout this past year. And that's what the great ones do. They put on a match for the ages. And those two guys are two of many great ones that, usually put on those banger matches that you're going to remember forever.
Expected. Seth Rollins costing Edge the title is obviously setting up for the match between those two at SummerSlam, and how could you not be excited over that? To top it off, the best moment of the weekend happened as well. John Cena made his long-awaited return, receiving one of the loudest pops of his career. The crowd was electric for the 16-time champion. I jumped out of my chair and I felt like a kid again. This is what WWE is all about. It's about creating long-lasting memories that we will cherish forever, and that is what I'm for myself. The entire world on social media went wild for John Cena's return, and it really...
Yeah, that return by Cena was actually trending, believe it or not. So that's how big of a deal it was and is. So yeah, it was amazing.
It shows the impact that he had for the WWE. John Cena is pretty much the WWE, and him coming back with the crowd as well just feels right. This is easily one of the best moments of all time in WWE. And that was Money in the Bank. Vince McMahon then had the difficult job to somehow continue this momentum from SmackDown and Money in the Bank for Monday Night Raw, and he did not disappoint because Raw was actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, Raw was very, very good, and as you can see, Reginald became the 24/7 title winner. And I don't know why I said it like that, but basically he won the 24/7 title after getting headbutted by Nia Jax and their relationship falling apart. So it was kind of a out with the old, in with the new kind of deal in terms of getting, in terms of Reginald actually, actually getting to win something, I guess, would be the correct term. But anyhow, moving on. Oh, come on. Why an advert?
Well, in my opinion, It started off with John Cena coming out to explain his return and his motives.
Yes,
and since it's John Cena and he's one of the best to ever touch that microphone, you already knew that this was going to be a good promo because John Cena.
Yeah, Cena gets a lot of creative control, so therefore he can deliver some fine old promos, and Raw was no exception.
Just knows how to work the crowd. Matt Riddle coming out and saying, bro, with John Cena was also pretty funny. I laughed.
That was so funny. I loved that moment. That actually made me laugh.
I liked it. I thought it was a cool moment. Matt Riddle is clearly exceeding all expectations on the main roster.
Yeah, Matt Riddle is just brilliant. I love him. Like, he is extremely entertaining, and he's honestly a lot of fun in my mind. like when I first heard about Matt Riddle, it was because of the whole Goldberg Matt Riddle beef online, and I wasn't very happy with him because of that beef. But over the last load of months and kind of year or 2 years or so, I've grown to love this guy, and he is honestly really, really funny.
Kind of connects with the crowd and is a breath of fresh air. We have not seen anyone like him before. His goofy gimmick, but then his intensity in the ring is really cool. I like that little dynamic
he can work
he
in
got
the
with
ring.
Himself. Keith Lee then made his comeback after being.
Yeah, he can work a good match. Like, don't let Riddle's fun nature fool you. He can put on a good show as well.
Out for quite some time to wrestle the WWE Champion Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Keith Lee returned. I just would have rather he not lost to Bobby Lashley. But then again, what are you going to do? Because it was either that or Keith Lee was going to win the world title, which I know WWE wouldn't have wanted because they're trying to keep Bobby Lashley strong. So, what are you going to do? But hey, it was a great moment to see him back, and I'm hoping that this won't be the last time that Keith Lee, finds himself in these types of situations. Hopefully he'll come out on top in this situation, as in in the next time that he finds himself in a championship match.
And even though he lost, it was really awesome to see him, and it seems like WWE has some big plans for him in the future. This one loss is not going to make or break him. I don't want a lot of people saying that he's ruined and whatnot, because he's not.
Like, you could say that he's ruined. Like, you could fool yourself and say that he's ruined. But to be fair, he isn't ruined. Like, one loss isn't going to be the biggest deal to him. Like, he can bounce back and get some good wins in there and, build himself back up to be a brilliant star that can later be in the main event scene and actually challenge for a big title like the WWE title in the future again.
It's just one loss. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. After that match, Goldberg kind of made a surprise return to Raw as well. I say kind of because, we kind of expected it with all the reports and stuff.
Yeah.
But still, it was cool nonetheless. The crowd absolutely liked it. Like, I know I don't really like Goldberg as a part-timer coming back and challenging for the WWE Championship, but it's also awesome to see the crowd going crazy for the return of Goldberg. And
that is kind of cool that they actually went nuts for that return. And I mean, I would rather he not, challenge for a WWE title seemingly every 5 minutes whenever he returns. Like, I would rather he didn't and all this other stuff, but hey, casual fans are going to enjoy it. And I mean, it could actually be an interesting match, but like I said before, I'm sure I could speak for every person who's a wrestling fan, mostly, that we all wanted Brock versus Bobby at SummerSlam this year.
Just their energy gives me energy for some reason. He got a huge pop, and he got a ton of Goldberg chants. As much as I wish it was Brock Lesnar, I'm going to be honest, this is probably going to be a fun match as well, so you can't really complain. Brock Lesnar is most likely going to come back later on to face Bobby Lashley somewhere down.
That is true. Like, it may end up happening at a different point, but would be nice if it was now. But like I said, the Goldberg versus Bobby match could be something.
On the line, maybe Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, so we will wait until then. The fans loved Goldberg though, and that's all that matters. It's all about pleasing the silent majority. And right after that, we also got another pair of more surprises.
Yeah, that was cool to see Karrion Kross back in the ring, but we don't talk about that loss that he suffered to Jeff Hardy that was totally unnecessary. But anyway, let's watch it.
Like, WWE was going all out for this Raw for no reason. Karrion Kross made his debut on Raw. It was a little odd that he didn't get his original entrance, and
Yeah,
it's also worth noting that Scarlett...
That was odd. I didn't realize that, but that is true. That is odd that he didn't get that, as well as getting to have Scarlett by his side, because that should have really happened.
aka his wife.
But you'll see how kind of a storyline plays into that soon.
Wasn't there. I think that's a true shame because she really adds a lot to his character. The
Yes,
entrance
she does.
and manager honestly
yes,
makes his character significantly better. Without her, I'm just afraid that he's not going to stand out among the other WWE.
That is true. Like, she does bring out some good stuff in Karrion Kross in terms of, his wrestling ability and his charisma and all the dark gothic stuff that comes with his character
Wrestlers, but we'll see.
that he's built up in NXT, as far as I know, because I don't exactly watch NXT, but I've still heard about the guy, and I've still heard that he is a great wrestler and he has a good character and seemingly, I think, has all right charisma, and above all else, like I said, just has a good gothic, crazy character. So, there you go.
What WWE does. Anyways, he had a match with Jeff Hardy, who came back with no more words, and you don't understand how excited I was. I popped for it. I'm not gonna lie. It's finally back. Jeff Hardy won.
Yeah, that was awesome to see him have no more words back as his theme song. He honestly looked like a legitimate star again, compared to a week ago where he's just been jobbing out to random superstars for like the past 3 months or something. Like, these days, like, after his Raw match with no more words and all that, like, he actually is something. Like, he actually does look like a legit superstar and actually is what he's been for many, many years,
The damn match as well. The commentators even pointed out that it seems like he rejuvenated his WWE career, so it's possible that WWE is actually pushing Jeff Hardy, and you love to see it. We all wanted to see it happen, and WWE is delivering it. And then
I'm so glad that I believe that is happening. Like, I'm so glad that Jeff could be getting a push finally now that the fans are back and now that he's got no more words back as his theme song. I am so glad that that's happening, because that was long overdue.
finally get to the main event of the show, Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship headline Raw, and that is when Charlotte was still the champion for a little bit before Nikki ASH cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase in a truly shocking moment. I don't think anybody was expecting that. It was cool to see. I'm actually fascinated to see how her reign plays out. Quite frankly, I don't know what to really expect, but what I do know is that WWE has been killing it in the past 3 shows.
To be fair, Nikki Cross's title reign could actually be very, very interesting. Either it will just be a jobber title reign, in the sense that it will end up being like a fluke title reign, so therefore she'll possibly lose at SummerSlam or something, like they did with Sasha so many times with her reigns lasting very, very short. Or they'll actually do something with her and, push her and etc. One or the other will happen, which gotta find out which one it is.
Seems like those reports of WWE actually trying and giving a good show were true. The company is putting effort in making their show good, and as a result, I think it means that WWE is great again. Just take a look at the SummerSlam match card we got. We have John Cena versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Then you have Goldberg taking on Bobby Lashley for the WWE title that casuals will love. Seth Rollins and Edge are going to have their dream match. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal will also be fun. And
yeah, Jinder versus McIntyre will be a great match, and I don't know what that guy's name is, as in, I can't remember his name, that got absolutely murdered with a steel chair. Like, he's one of Jinder Mahal's buddies, but I can't remember his name. But he got absolutely murdered with the steel chair by McIntyre, and people were counting along as well, which made it all the more funnier and all the more brutaler as well. But all I can say is, yeah, he got murdered, pretty much, by Drew McIntyre, the guy that cut the steel chair shots. I can't remember his name, which is annoying. Yeah, it'll come to me at some stage. Maybe come like the next Raw or something. But I digress.
We still have not seen the returns of Becky Lynch, The Fiend, or Sasha Banks just yet. This is going to be an extremely fun summer for WWE fans.
Yep.
I can just feel it. I was calling it before it happened, and obviously WWE is doing it. I think it is great again, and I'm actually excited for every show moving forward. What a time to be a wrestling fan, am I right? Anyways, that is it for the video.
Indeed. What a time to be a wrestling fan. What a time to even be alive. Like WWE has just been mental lately, in a good way. And I mean, like, the stuff that have cracked off on, like, Friday Night SmackDown as well this week, with Balor apparently challenging Roman for the Universal title, and Roman declining John Cena's request for a Universal title match, and also saying to Cena that he had to change in order to get that title shot, is insane. Like, it's just insane. And everything that Cena said on Raw about Roman, saying that he wasn't doing it for his 17th record-breaking championship, title championship thingamabob. Like, he wasn't doing it for that. He wasn't doing it for the sake of SummerSlam. He was doing it because Roman Reigns is an arsehole. That's the reason why he's doing it. So, yeah. But now, as it looks like Finn Balor could end up facing Roman, but who on earth knows when. Point is, the Cena-Roman match still needs to happen at SummerSlam. So they've got to do it at like a SmackDown or something, which, to be fair, could be pretty good for WWE, because, I mean, like, it will be continuing the cool and fresh, hyping stuff that WWE have been doing lately in making the company great, and the show's great, you know? So, like, you know, so that should be good. That match should. But we still do need Cena versus Roman at SummerSlam. That has to happen. But, yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments section below. And, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, favorite videos. If we could get out to, I'm going to go with a 100 likes on this video. That would be exceptionally awesome. And, yeah. Adios, amigos. Ciao, guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Let me know what you think of the WWE right now in the comments below. Are you excited for the future and the summer? Let me know. And on the screen right now are some other videos that you might like, so go ahead and click one of them. I will see you all in the next video.